My story name is Love at First Time. Today I saw him for the very first time. He was wearing a blue shirt and black pants. He looked so handsome that the moment my eyes met his, my heart started beating so fast. But then I looked at myself. I quietly thought someone like him could never belong to someone like me. So I decided to keep my distance from him. I little did I know that fate was already writing a beautiful love story for us. My name is Della. I am a 24 years old girl and I work in a small office. My family is very small. I only live with my grandmother. She has been my whole world. Ever since I was a child, one morning I get ready in a hurry because I was getting late for work. When I reached the bus stop, heavy rain suddenly started falling. Oh no, I wish appeared I had forgotten my umbrella at home. Slowly my hair and clothes starting getting wet. Then suddenly the rain stopped falling on me. Confused, I looked up. There was an umbrella over my head. I looked beside me. A handsome young man was standing there, holding the umbrella for both of us. His eyes were bright blue. His skin was fair, and there was a beautiful spectacle in his eyes. I had never stood so close to any man before. Maybe he was simply trying to protect both of us from the rain. Neither of us spoke. After a few minutes, our bus arrived. We got on the same bus. As I looked at him one last time, I thought this is probably the first and the last time I ever see him. Every day during lunch break, I used to visit a small cafe near my office. I always ordered my favorite snacks with a cup of hot coffee and sit beside the window. About 2 weeks later, while I was quietly drinking my coffee, someone walked into the cafe. I looked up. It was him. For a second, my heart skipped a beat. I felt strangely happy, but I acted as if I had never seen him before. The cafe was crowded. Only one chair was empty. It was the chair beside me. He walked over and smiled before sitting down. The moment he the moment he looked at me, he organized me. He smiled warmly. Joy, you are the girl from that rainy day, or not you? I smiled shyly. Della, yes, and thank you. He looked surprised. Joy, for what? Della, I forget to thank you that day for sharing your umbrella. He laughed softly. Joy, don't worry. Anyone would have done the same. We continued talking. Our conservation, starting with small things, but somehow it becomes longer and longer. It felt so easy to talk to him. After a while, he asked, Joy, do you work here in this cafe? I smiled. Della, no, I worked in the office across the street. I come here every day during lunch because I really love this place. He nodded. Joy, that's nice. From that day onward, whenever I reached the cafe, Joy was already sitting at the window table. He knew it was my favorite seat. Slowly, our friendship became stronger. We laughed together, shared stories, talked about our dramas. Without realizing it, he had become the best part of my day. One afternoon, Joy came to the cafe carrying a small pancake. He placed it on the table in front of me with a bright smile. Joy, I have some good news. Curiously, I looked at him. Della, really? Tell me. He smiled proudly. Joy, you will know, never asked me what I do. I smiled. Della, you are right. He took a deep breath. Joy, I am a writer. My dream has always been to publish my own book. I will work really hard for years. You know, publishing a book costs a lot of money, but finally, my book is being published. Next week, for a moment, I forget to breathe. Then I smiled with all my heart. Della, congratulations. Joy, I am so happy for you. His eyes shone with happiness. Then he softly added, Joy, the publishing event is in Germany. I will have to leave next week. My smile slowly disappeared. My heart suddenly felt heavy. I wanted to ask him something. The question was stuck inside my heart. When will you come back? But I was too afraid to ask. Joy looked at me quietly. It almost felt as if he was waiting for me to ask that question. Finally, gathering all my courage, I spoke, Della. When will you come back? Joy smiled sadly. Joy, honestly, I do not know. If my book becomes successful, I will have interviews, book events, and many new opportunities. I might stay there for 2 years, maybe four, maybe six, or maybe I would not come back at all. The moment I heard those words, my eyes filled with tears, but I did not want him to see me crying. I quickly stood up. Della, I should go now. I have a lot of work at the office today. Joy looked disappointed. Joy, all right, but at least eat the pancake first. I forced a smile. Della, I will take it with me. I will eat it later. He nodded gently. Joy, okay, if that's what you want. I picked up the small box with the pancake as I walked toward the cafe door. I secretly wished that time would stop just for one more moment. 2 days later, Joy sent me a message. Joy, can you come to the airport to see me off? Are you free today? That day I had a lot of work at the office, but for some reason my heart refused to say no. I asked my best friend, Della, please cover my work for just a couple of hours. I will be back soon. She smiled. Friend, don't worry, go. I quickly took a taxi and rushed to the airport. When I arrived, I saw Joy standing near the departure gate, just like the first time I had seen him. He looked incredibly handsome. He had two suitcases beside him. He had two suitcases beside him. Looking at them, I realized he was leaving for a long time. He smiled the moment he saw me without saying anything. He stepped forward and hugged me. Joy, Take care of yourself. Work hard. I will keep calling you, and you stay in touch with me too. I forced for myself to smile. Della, okay, I will. Deep inside my heart, I wanted him to stop. I wanted him to say, come with me. But he never said those words. Tears slowly filled my eyes. When I looked at him, I saw that his eyes had become wet too. Just a minute before boarding, he hugged me once again. Then he gently kissed my forehead. Joy, goodbye, Della. Before I could say anything, he turned around and walked away. I stood there for almost 15 minutes watching him disappear. Only then did I return home. The next day I wanted to call him, but then I thought I will wait until he calls me first. Unfortunately, unfortunately, that same week my mobile phone broke. I lost all my contact. I had no way to reach him. Days turned into week became month, 1 year passed, then two, then three. Every single day during lunch break, I still visited the same little cafe. I always sit by the window. I ordered the same coffee, the same snacks, and secretly hoped that one day he would walk through that door again. Meanwhile, everything was going well at my office. I even get promoted. My grandmother became more serious about my marriage. Grandmother, Della, you are old enough now. You should get married. I always smiled and changed the topic. But something but sometimes I asked myself, who am I waiting for? Maybe he will never come back. Even if he does, maybe someone else is already in his life. I tried many times to move on, but every time my heart whispered only one name, Joy. Years passed, 5 long years. One morning I went to the cafe as usual. I visited I was sitting beside the window, slowly drinking my coffee. Suddenly, a young man walked into the cafe. He was wearing sunglasses. He was holding a beautiful bouquet of red roses. I looked at him for just a second before looking back at my coffee. A few moments later, he stopped right beside my table. Then he sat down in the chair across from me. I looked up. The man slowly removed his sunglasses. My heart almost stopped. It was joy. His beautiful blue eyes still had the same sparkle. He smiled. Then he placed the bouquet in front of me. Joy, thank you for waiting for me. My eyes immediately filled with tears. I could hardly believe he was really sitting in front of me. With a trembling voice, I asked Della, when did you come back? He smiled. Joy, last night. I wanted to meet you yesterday, but then I thought I should surprise you this morning. I could not stop my tears anymore. I stood up and hugged him tightly. After a long silence, I finally spoke. Della, that day at the airport, I wanted to tell you something. I wanted to say, I love you. I wanted to ask you not to leave me or to take me with you. But I thought maybe I would become a burden on your dreams. I thought maybe you only saw me as a friend. Joe smiled gently. Then he held my hands. Hold my hands, Joy. I was thinking exactly the same. I was afraid that if I confused my feeling, you might reject me, and I did not want to lose our friendship. I called you so many times, but your phone was always switched off. I wanted to tell you that my book had become a huge success. It became a best seller. My dream came true, but another dream was still incomplete. He looked deeply into my eyes. Joy, I kept thinking, if you waited for me, then your love was real, and when I came back, I would ask you to become my wife. Before I could say anything, Joy slowly went down on one knee. Everyone in the cafe turned to look at us. He took out a small red ring box from his pocket. He opened it. Inside was a beautiful diamond ring. He smiled. Joy, Della, will you marry me? I was crying and smiling at the same time. Without waiting another second, I answered, Della, yes, yes, I will. Joy gently placed the ring on my finger. The entire cafe burst into applause. People around us smiled and congratulated us. At that moment, I realized that true love is always worth waiting for. A few months later, we get married. Today, Joy, my grandmother, and I live together in a warm and happy home. Every morning we drink cafe together. Sometimes we laugh about our first meeting in the rain. Sometimes we remember those 5 long years, and every time Joy looks at me, he still smiles the same way he did on the very first day. On the every first day. Because real I love never fades. It simply waits for the right moment. The end. Message. True love is patience. If your love is real, never lose hope. Sometimes distantly takes time, but it always finds its way. If you enjoyed this love story, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and thank you so much for watching.